Having a good day. Going to ask real quick before Sheets gets in here, before we get going on everything, that you hit the like button, subscribe, etc., etc. Also, we do have our MLB 24 still going, so 24% off the first month. So with that said, Sheets popped in just in time. How's it going, man?
Good. What's going on?
Just figuring out this slate.
What are we doing? Baseball first?
Yeah, I think start with baseball, talk about some basketball, and then if there's anything we have to adjust to, which the weird part is going to be the weather thing. So on the baseball shows where there's weather, I'm gonna have to treat it a little bit like the basketball shows with like the 30 minutes before probably getting off, like a 30 minutes to lock, just because I do like, Roth does do the best job weather-wise, and I have interest in the weather games tonight. So I like to try and get out of here around 6:30 on those ones. So maybe baseball for, it doesn't usually take very long to go through. So like 15, 20 minutes, then get into basketball and then go back and forth with whatever people are asking in chat.
Yeah, the only, what I'm looking at, the only weather it's really even remotely an issue is the Met game. I mean,
that's one I actually do have an interest in, Hauser. So that's partly why I'm interested in that one. I also think that the Mets aren't it's not. I don't want to stack them, but I don't mind little pieces from them. So that was one one thing that came across. But I do think that even though it looks like they're going to play, I want to know the most up to date weather hitting conditions that's happening in Chicago, because it is interesting that we're going to have the chalk. And I even like the other side of that game, so I'm getting weird with it. But you're going to have the chalk in a game that's 40 degrees. There's 17-mile-an-hour winds blowing out to center in the White Sox game, but in the Cubs game now it looks like it's blowing out more to right, which is a little bit of a boost there for a Cubs stack that I think is getting more and more popular by the minute.
Yeah, so, I was gonna say, which part of the chalk were you talking about? Were you talking about Assad or the hitting?
I think it's more the hitting. I don't think Assad is that chalky.
No, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I mean he's going to be owned more than I think that he's right now. The projection that SaberSim has is feels low to me. Goldie's feels a little more accurate, closer at 13% or 14%. But I think I think I could see it being as low as 10 or 12%. But depends on what happens with Hauser in the first game, because I do think that'll shift over to Assad because they're 200 apart. So
I think this Hauser. I mean, Hauser play just feels like a lemon to me. Really, you like this, huh?
Well, I mean, it's 6,800, and if we're gonna, why do we like Assad and not like Hauser exactly? What's the big difference?
Hauser sucks. I don't know.
Why does he suck?
I don't know. I always seem to feel that he gives up 40 runs. I guess I'm just hallucinating. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I know that the Tigers have been winning. This is the worst lineup, potentially one of the worst in baseball. And usually when, you have a guy who can, at least throw innings for you, I don't know. I feel like he's a 20% strikeout guy. He's nothing fancy with that, but he's 6,800. Anyway, it's just a play that I'm considering anyway. I do have some of them right now. It's not my favorite play, but I mean, the winds are blowing in. It's 45 degrees with 15-mile-an-hour winds blowing in from center. How are we not supposed to have some interest against the worst offenses in baseball?
Right.
And by the way, Casey Mize probably should be in the conversation too. But the problem is I don't know. I'm too worried about that game to really make it a priority of any kind. But I do think that if I heard that it was, if I felt it was a go, I probably would play it more than a fair share of the pitching.
Well, I'll tell you right now, the weather now stinks, but it's supposedly going to get not so bad.
Okay. The Dodgers lineup just came out. So Kike's in the lineup today. Mookie, Shohei, Freeman, Will Smith, Max Muncy, Teoscar Hernandez, James Outman, and Gavin Luxton Hernandez. So, okay, so I'm going to have to shift around some things because I was speculating whether it'd be Taylor or Kike. But I guess that for me, I'm definitely on DraftKings, because they're not going to get owned. And I understand that Logan Webb is a good. I probably have more respect for most people than Logan Webb does. It also is a pitcher's umpire for what it's worth. But I like I just am going to keep playing the Dodgers as they're low owned. I just don't see why not to. If I can get them in, I'm going to get them in. This is not a hometown bias. You know this. This is just the best offense in baseball, along with Atlanta. And when they're going to be, 0% and Atlanta is going to be, 25%, I'll take the 0%ers.
So what I would like to know is who is Blaze Anderson?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a little bit of a misnickname. He's not.
He's not. So he's not going to get 4 stolen bases. He's hitting second at 2,900.
No, I know. I'm playing him some. Don't get me wrong.
So who is he? I mean, like he's an Arizona guy. I mean,
yeah, he's just a guy. I mean, Corbin Carroll's not in. He very likely. There's definitely a chance that he only gets a couple at bats. Treat it like one of those.
Okay.
There's nothing special. Like, yeah, I'm playing some of them for sure, just because it's it fit in. And also, I actually don't mind like errors. Like, I don't really love these stacks, you know what I mean? That's why I sort of landed on a little bit more of the Dodgers. Like, I think all of these stacks feel very super fishy to me. The one that actually makes the most sense on paper is probably the Cubs. That's why I think that they're going to end up getting more ownership than they're projected right now. Other than, and you've got Atlanta against a guy who's a high-level prospect who was awesome his first outing, and it's 40 degrees. Again, there's wind blowing out to center, but still, it's something worth considering at least. You know, why to get different? Also, you have Ronaldo Lopez, who we've seen has been like the least consistent pitcher over the last 5 years in baseball, and he's getting a little bit of love, but more importantly, nobody on the White Sox is getting played in that same game, and I like the idea of getting to the White Sox a little bit today. So that is something that I mean, it's weird because the stacks I'm naming are like super low owned, but the other one that came across to me was Houston. But like that's what I mean against Barrios. Like all of these guys, all of these teams feel so similar to me today that I just want to take the better offenses overall in that case, or the low ownership where I think there's upside for an explosive, bad outing from a pitcher like Lopez.
Do you have any? We talked about San Francisco a little bit earlier today.
I have a lot of like pieces, but not full stacks.
And the Dodgers lineup. So who's not in that I thought might be in? Like Outman, is he in?
Yeah, he's in.
And what about Hayward?
Hayward, I don't even understand why sites were projecting Hayward in. Everybody in LA knew he was out. Like,
so there's no Hayward.
Yeah, no Hayward.
Okay.
I just didn't understand all day. I was like getting projections on. I'm like, I don't know about this one. It didn't seem possible to me. Yeah. So it's and Lux is batting 8th instead of 9th. I guess that's the other thing.
Red Sox seem cheap, I guess. You get Trevor Story at 4,200. You had Pablo Reyes.
That's the other jock team I forgot to mention. Yeah. Sorry.
You have Pablo Reyes, 2,600.
They're much more popular on FanDuel because most people play both sites. I think people are gonna play them more on FanDuel.
Okay.
I think that's just the way that it shook out, because I found myself getting to them more, and I was like, why am I getting to this as much as I am? But they're super cheap over there. Everybody's like below 3K.
And have you figured out? I mean, like which of the 8K pitchers are the best ones? I mean, if that's what you want to
do. But I wanted to do something. I wanted to just really quickly make sure I don't forget to take Chris Taylor and swap him for Kike.
Like you like Bello better than Darvish, for example?
Yes, I like Bello better than Darvish. I like. I'm just gonna get my exposures out here, so I'm not lying about anything. I like. Who do I have? I have Bieber, Assad, Bello. Then it's like a blend of the stuff I don't really like that I just wanted to get some exposure to the upside. Gallen, Castillo, Darvish, Berrios in that order.
Yeah.
But I would rather just be well overweight Bieber, Bello. And actually at the moment, probably I'm okay with being overweight Assad a little bit. But I'm a little too high overweight. I'm looking at my ownership at like 50% on him. I think I got to get like closer to like, feels like 30% maybe is a good number.
On the Assad?
Yeah. Because this is not a no-bust path, like by any means. This guy, some of his he started off last year. He ended up pitching well, but like he started off when he was starting games, like he was pitching 1 inning. Then he was pitching 2 innings. So it was just a little shaky. And I think that like with baseball, like when we talked about some of the differences between baseball and basketball, and I just like in basketball, yes, one of the mistakes I may have made is taking maybe guys who were a little too far off the board or doing it in some of the wrong spots this year. But in baseball, like you really should just be trying to get the best teams at low ownership. And that's why I can't get over the Dodgers thing. And again, if you told me right now the Dodgers were going to be this much owned and Atlanta was going to be this much owned and it was the same pitchers on the other side, I would just say, we'll play Atlanta then, you know?
Right.
But, if the middle of this Dodger lineup actually starts hitting, it's going to be really crazy because the top of the lineup does everything and the rest of the guys have been kind of ugly. Oh, Muncy completely whatever. He's crushed, what's his name? Logan Webb in the past. That's something, I guess.
Is that a thing?
I'm making it a thing. It goes along with my thinking. I mean, as a team with 147 at-bats to hit 340 off the guy with 8 home runs, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's got to be worth something.
I mean, it's something. They face them a lot. The same divisions. You study pitchers in your division a lot more than you do pitchers out of your division. What kind of in the builds and stuff, like what are you getting to of, like, let me ask you some guys.
Yeah, so I will say this, that I mean, remember baseball is a funny game. And if you get into like the whatchamacallit, the contest sin game and the sin game and the ownership fade game, you're gonna be tested. Because you're getting, if you go through like the normal processes, you're getting a bunch of Cleveland against Castillo. You're getting like White Sox, like you mentioned, even some Colorado. You know what I mean? Like there's some kind of craziness.
Mm-hmm.
And I only mention it because, again, like you said, you don't have to. How do I put this the right way? Okay, so the whole contest sim software and the algorithms and all this stuff, it is by all metrics very new. Okay, it's at most like 2 years old, so it is like developing. And like imagine if there's like a whole new form of calculation and analysis that's literally 2 years old. I promise you that right now, 2 years from now, whatever it's doing to build lineups is going to be looked at like, oh my God, it's awful. Okay, so don't just plug stuff in and accept what you get. Okay, it's probably better than just not doing anything, but you're allowed to have a little bit of common sense when it comes to this stuff. So. That's the thing that people are saying. Oh, the Sims are just going to make it so much easier to win. And it's not. It's not easy. And there's so many decisions to be made along the way. If you just run SaberSim and run the contest sims, you're going to be getting a bunch of stuff that I promise you are going to offend you. And it's up to you how to handle it. So you asked what builds you're getting. I mean, since you asked. Like in my 50 lineup build, like my two biggest exposures are Cleveland and Toronto.
Yeah,
that's all I want to do is attack Luis Castillo and Framber Valdez. You know what I mean? Like really? Yeah. that's so you're gonna have to make some decisions on your own if you don't want to go into that world.
Yeah, and see that's the difference between I guess it's the same thing that we're talking about getting these low ownership and you're in some cases getting leverage and all these things. But like for me, I will try to go out of my way to try to get the good offenses in that case. Now you don't need good offenses to win in baseball. Obviously you can have bad offenses that have a good day, but when you're getting the good offenses at low ownership, that's when I'm sort of surprised that at least I thought earlier today that by the end of the day, you'd hear people talking about the Dodgers and see the ownership shoot up and stuff.
No one's playing them.
Doesn't happen at all. And I understand Logan Webb's a good pitcher. This is not a disrespect. This is just the Dodgers. This is still an experiment. You have you could argue, it depends on who you're arguing with, but you could argue three of the top 5 hitters in baseball in a row in the lineup.
And the other 3 are the Yankees. It's like
right, exactly. Or the other 2 anyway.
Yeah.
You guys will find somebody. Yeah. to be your third. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, this is a team that was the lineup around them this was a good team before they were there. And Teoscar is like batting 6th. James Outman is a guy who on other teams would be batting 4th. Anyway. So
I do think that Arizona is live today.
I do too. That's why I didn't end up minding the other thing. Again, more of a secondary stack for me, but I definitely don't have any issue with it. And Scott McCarty saying here, wind in Chicago wind in Chicago for the Colorado play. Yeah, but the wind is not against them. There's no wind against them. The wind would be helping the lefties right now, if anything. There's no wind against them. Right, unless there's been like a new. Let me see if there's a new weather update. Because Scott's pretty sharp. All right, let's see. Yeah, we're still saying left to right. I don't know. It depends on which. There's a radar I'm looking at that has it pointed out more to right, but yeah, you actually don't mind. Like, you don't want the game to be that cold, but you don't mind the windy games if they're going side to side too, because it actually does make the game hard to play. Like when especially if it gets powerful wind. If you get over like 20 in Chicago and it's going side to side, you're going to see like a million bloop singles. Did Pablo Reyes just get switched to New York? Now he's batting 5th.
That's what I said.
I thought I had him 8th. I don't know.
No, that's what I said earlier.
Oh, you must have seen the lineup. Like, I don't know, when did I?
Yeah, it's been on DraftKings for a while.
I thought I had him as. That's so freaking weird. Oh, let me see something here. I swear he was 8th on when I looked earlier. I don't know what's going on. Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that Colorado is in play, and like I said, there's really not a lot of stacks to argue against tonight. I think you can make a case for St. Louis, especially the lefties and the guys. They have the perfect kind of team actually to beat up on you, because even if they don't score a bunch of runs, they've got like stolen base guys. Ugitz is not, he tends to get a little wild sometimes. You could talk yourself into a worse thing than the Cardinals, but I'm sticking with. I have the Dodgers. I do have more Atlanta than I thought, but I have some 4-4s with Atlanta, and they're playing with the White Sox, so I feel like I'm okay to get a little bit off. You know what I mean? The chalk with those, or I have them with the Giants. Just teams that no one's going to look at tonight, I don't think. Although the Giants might get a little bit of ownership. Like some guys might be close to 10%. Like
some Cardinal lineup things, like there's no Gorman tonight, if that matters to anybody.
That's actually I don't know why there's no Gorman. Did he get hurt?
I don't know.
Huh. I guess they just played a bunch of games in a row, but yeah, it's a pretty, it makes you see why people would want to play you Darvish. I'm not getting there to the U play myself. I just am not. I think I have him like 5% or no, 8%. Okay, so let's see. We had Outman bets. Yeah, my Cubs stack I mixed with the Dodgers to get different. So if I'm going to play the chalk, I'm going to do it with a combo stack of the team that's not popular, obviously. And again, I keep saying this. 5-mans are going to win most things, and I believe on most slates. But I do think early in the season, if you're going to try to pick out times to do 4-4s, I really think that there's a lot of logic behind doing that, or 4-3-1s if there's a super standout bat, which there really kind of isn't one guy tonight that just stands out as being oh, if you can afford him, you have to get that guy. I think Acuna is the natural one, you'd think, but is Acuna really that much better of a play than Mookie, who's just red hot, and Shohei and Judge? You know what I mean? There's a lot of guys you could argue that, I don't know, are the top play tonight. I noticed that Shohei is getting the most ownership every night, like of the Dodgers, and yes, he has the most. I get it, but I also think it's like twice as much as Freddie, or twice as much as Mookie. Mookie has better position eligibility, and they're not going to let Shohei run in LA. I'm just telling you, he's going to steal very few bases this year.
No,
it'll be very limited. So. This is not Shohei from, early Angels days where he's stealing 25, 30 bases on top of his home runs or whatever the hell he was stealing. Actually, more than that.
This is a dumb question. He's going to pitch, right, Ohtani?
Not this year.
Oh, he's not pitching this year?
Yeah, because of his arm thing. Yeah.
Okay.
My dad had this is a good piece of news, Sheets, for a change. My dad had a good he had a little bit of a heart scare that was something going on, but the doctor's not concerned. Everything's good. So that's nice to share good news for a change.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. All right. Should we talk a little NBA?
Yeah, in just a second. You could start. I'm just finishing up my hockey stuff.
Okay. I'll jump over to NBA. A fun little slate. I built 2 lineups only. I'm not playing much of any weight at the end of the season.
Do they both have Gordon Hayward?
Neither of them have Gordon Hayward.
Wow. Okay.
So that's I guess, something. It's not that I totally get the Hayward play, but there's a ton of other value. Like Sensabaugh what did he score? 35 the other night? Play him instead.
I have no idea.
Oh, I think he had 36 the other night. But quick side note, I know there's been people saying mixed things about I loved the women's game last night. I thought that was the most fun basketball game I've watched in a long time. That was in college. It was so fun to watch because they played at the Iowa LSU game. They just played at this blazing pace, and it was such opposite teams, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was actually really an interesting style of basketball. And I don't care what level you're at or whatever. The things Caitlin Clark does is just, it's beyond belief. It's the only other person I've seen who actually moves like that and tries to play like that is Steph Curry. It's like you used to try to hesitate and get past somebody. They're hesitating so they can get off a 27 footer. But
I haven't had a chance to watch women's college basketball in a long time.
It was the big game last night, a big rematch, from the championship. It was a good game. It was I thought it was really.
What does Iowa play Connecticut in the semis? Is that the story?
Yeah.
Is Iowa supposed to be the favorite?
I think that on that, I think it's pretty close. I'm not having to double check the thing. Yesterday was a 2-point spread for the team that beat them last year in the title. But it's just amazing to me that a player in college that your average distance of 3-pointers made is 26 feet and you make 6 of them a game. How can that be possible? That'd be an NBA guy's literally average number being 30. That means he's hitting from 35 also regular.
Well, I have another comment.
You're going to hate it.
I don't really watch the games or whatever, but I was watching the Tennessee game, the Tennessee against Purdue. I have a couple of comments of college basketball for going to basketball because I was sweating my Survivor stuff. I was watching more college basketball. So first of all, what's an interesting dynamic is that with all this this obvious kind of movement to positionless basketball and 5-out stuff, that we got 3 guys that are 8 feet tall are going to defend. Who are probably going to decide the championship.
Maybe not though, because Connecticut beats everybody.
Yes. No, Connecticut's got one of the 8-footers.
Oh, they've got to get big. Yeah, but he's not the focal point like the other team.
Yeah, but he's 8 feet. The Purdue guy's 8 feet. The NC State guy's 800 pounds. It's and he played AAU also, by the way. We coached against the other kid, one of the white kids at NC State, Mike O'Connell. He was
oh really?
Yeah, we know him for a while. He's 30, I think, right now. He's yeah, this is ridiculous.
There was a guy who was 27 in the tournament this year.
Yeah, I think he might be. I mean, he's definitely at least. I think he's 2 years older than Matt. That's oh
my god, that's crazy.
But what I was going to say, as I was watching this guy, this insane player from Tennessee, this guy, Connect, is that his name? Connect.
Yeah.
That's freaking ridiculous. Okay, and he was the only guy on the team that could do anything. Every time he got off an open shot, I'm like, what are you guys doing? You know what I mean? But because the reason is because listen, it's not like the other Tennessee guys are awful. You can't just double team the guy. But how does Caitlin Clark? How do they not double team her the whole?
Well, she leads Mason in scoring and assists, so it's not like she doesn't get. She's looking to put the ball ahead.
Let her get 30 assists. I'm not letting her score 30 points.
You're not having a choice about the 30 because she's hitting him from just past half court, man.
Well, that's where she's gonna have to be shooting from. Sorry,
that's what's happening, and that's where. And by the way, that's where she's her highest efficient. She goes up from every foot past 22 feet. It's crazy. Anyway,
all right. So let's have some fun. Let me. I'll share my screen and we'll build some NBA. We'll build some NBA.
Yeah.
Why not? because I haven't done it yet. I updated the projections, but they're going to change because that's what NBA does. But just to show you what I do, whatever. So when I first looked, I saw that what's his name? I thought that Gordon Hayward was going to look like a good player. I didn't really even look for real. And then the other one I saw was I think Walker Kessler or something like that. But let me see. Yeah. And so you don't have either of those guys.
No, I do have Kessler.
Oh, you have Kessler. Okay, so let's see. I literally haven't built anything yet.
I have 2 and Kessler's in both.
Mo Bamba is out, whatever that means.
Not much. For what it's worth, though, I thought it was. I did use the Saber Sims, and I was trying some builds out in the lottery, and they were fading Hayward in almost all of them.
It's so funny that you say that because I did that earlier today. I did my builds as well, and yeah, I was only getting like 24% Hayward. Yeah, I noticed that.
I mean, I have to say, it's probably if his ownership anywhere were near where they expect it to be, it's probably like a god awful play.
Really? I mean, he's under 4K though, right? I mean, like
he scored 8. I understand when Shea was gone and he had his big game where he made all of his threes, all 3 of his threes. He scored 20 fantasy points. He scored in the other game without Shea 6. He scored 13 in the other game without Shea. I'm not lying to you, man. I'm looking at it's the same group of other guys. Could he have a good game? Sure. Is it a little bit better than those spots? Yeah. But the only thing that's different is that we've seen him actually be a little bit more incorporated than we thought. If you want to play him, play Aaron Wiggins instead, in my opinion.
Really? Okay.
They're projected within like a point, and for some reason Hayward's getting 4 times the ownership. I don't really get it. Play Wallace if you have to.
And there was going to be Donovan Mitchell revenge, but
no. Instead, we just get to play all of the Cavs.
Instead, we get to play all the Cavs. So, like right now, if I just like ran stuff, I'd be getting 100% Giannis of all things.
I got
100% Josh Giddey.
I would get that's the play I really like, but for some reason, I just kept not getting to it. But I think I'm going to force it in. Yeah, it makes too much sense. I think that's the right thing to do.
But that's without doing simming, but still, I mean, like, let's build one. I don't even know if hold on, build to 6:26 p.m. I totally didn't remember doing it. Okay, so let's run these. Let's run these. Here, it's build 1. Why is it build 1? Hold on, we're gonna start over. We're gonna cancel these. I want build 1. I don't want build 1. I want build 2. Let's see. There it is, build 2. Okay. Build 2. Build 2. Build 2. Okay, now we'll run these. Yeah, I wonder what they do with these. So why is Giannis such a good play? Because there's a lot of value you can get to him, right? That's the story.
There's no Dame.
And there's no Dame. So he's a good play anyway.
Yeah.
Well, look at this. Look at the Lakers with 124 implied team total. Look at that.
That's what Toronto will do to you.
Yeah, right? Look at that.
The cast of characters Toronto's running out there right now, like, honestly, if you lose to this team, even in Toronto, you should just pack it in. Like, I mean, this might be the worst group of players I've ever seen put together. You have like one actual player who they're not going to play any minutes. Remember I told you if you remember a month or so ago before it all started happening, I said just do not play Toronto's going to give up 1 million fantasy points. They're going to do all this stuff, and they're just going to rotate these guys because they have no need to win games. They have no interest in winning. They lose their draft pick if they win, and they've certainly held up their end of the bargain.
They sure have, huh?
And they're not even playing they're not even playing Barrett or Quickly more than 30 minutes ever. Like it's just never going to happen. They're going to get smoked probably. I do think that there's one interesting play there, though. I think that Jordan Nwora as a tournament play is interesting.
Nwora?
I mean, I didn't get to him, but I just thought okay, if I was playing more lineups, I probably would take a dart here.
So there's no Shea nor Jalen Williams, right?
Right. I get it. I get the Hayward thing. I know it's a little different than the other spots, so there is more of a chance for Hayward. But why does it have to be him? Why not play the other guys? Play Aaron Wiggins. Play Cason Wallace.
Yeah. What now? Why am I getting Omar Yurtseven and Kessler together? See, this is the story. This is the problem.
Why did I don't know why they do that.
I'm not. See, I'm going to rerun these without doing this. That's.
Oh, I know why.
Why?
Because they can play both of them at the same time. Because they're playing the double bigs.
Have they?
I don't believe they have, but I don't also think that they haven't played Cleveland either with Mobley and Allen. So instead of trying to put Hendricks on Mobley or Hendricks gets in foul trouble, I could see that happening. LeBron and AD are in. Nothing surprising. Favorite Thunder play besides getting. By the way, like Chet's a tremendous play. I don't know if we need to like. That's pretty obvious, right? Like
only getting 3.
Nobody's really into that. No, Chet's got to be better. I think I like. So I would go if I had to pick other. Giddey's my favorite. I like the idea just because Hayward's ownership so high. I like the idea of playing different value today. So I'd rather play Wiggins or Wallace at lower ownership, and Isaiah Joe at lower ownership. Why not Isaiah Joe? By the way, Jesus, I'd much rather play, especially against his former. You know what? Put that in. Isaiah Joe is
lock that in.
It's his former team. He's been great. He went nuts in this spot, which. Even if Hayward goes nuts, he's not going to play a ton of minutes. They're not going to wear him out. Well, maybe if there was a night to do it, they kind of need to win still. So, I mean, they just have a bunch of other guys. You could take a shot with Kenrich Williams at 0 ownership versus Hayward at 60%.
I would also like to say, by the way, that's a pretty healthy late slate in baseball. I mean, you got a full 5 games with all those games.
You mean that? Yeah, I didn't.
All the 940s plus the Dodger game.
I just noticed that I set my alarm for a long time. Yeah, to double check the lineups stay the same.
So when all the Tigers exposure or the Mets exposure goes down the drain, we could fire it up in the late slate.
Yeah, I think
I'll say this: that's a pretty healthy total for Seattle against Bieber, 3.8.
It was. I feel a little bit like Bieber's getting some sort of a disrespect that I'm not quite. I know he didn't have his best year.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I mean,
but it does feel like a little disrespectful. I think it's kind of crazy that he's not the most popular pitcher on the slate, to be honest.
Yeah, he's definitely a much more whatever on FanDuel.
Yeah,
I'm getting a bunch of them on FanDuel.
Yeah. For what it's worth on FanDuel, I'm using Bieber, Bello, and that's where I just got I wanted to get one lineup with Castillo exposure, so I get it over there because it was so easy.
I played a little Gallon over there and a little Castillo too. I mean, just the better pitchers to get I don't know.
Yeah, Gallon's more of a play that I'm using on DraftKings, but I think it's. I mean, the only reason is just because I wanted to get a little bit of exposure to Castillo. I think he does have upside, and this Cleveland lineup looks really, really bad, but I believe in team principles, and I still think that they're going to end the season as like not this crazy high strikeout team. So it might be bad, but they're the same kind of bad that they were last year. And by the way, maybe they're not bad. Like so early in the year.
I mean, they still have Jose Ramirez, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they've got Jose Ramirez. They still got Jimenez. They still got Naylor,
Josh Naylor.
Stephen Kwan is annoying to pitch against.
Josh Naylor, I like him.
Yeah, they got the good double nailer it with Bo and Josh.
Yeah.
Tyler Freeman hit a home run for me as a one-off last night, so that was nice.
Willie Mays Hayes could still steal some bases.
All right, I think I'm mostly off of this. I'm just going to leave the little bit of exposure I do have to that game. I'm going to leave it out there. I ended up with so much of a one-off at catcher that I mean, look, he hit 2 home runs last night, so can't be that bad. But Yainer Diaz is in like so many of my lineups. It's actually like kind of stupid. But there's just nobody really at that price other than Alvarez, who's in the Mets game. So I have to play Yandy. I mean, Yandy. Why did I say Yandy? That's Yandy Diaz or Yandy Diaz that's Tampa Bay. I always get that. All right. What else do we have here? Let's see. Just double checking the baseball lineups. It'd be nice if the Yankees, when they're on the road, decided to get their lineups in a little bit earlier.
That would be, I guess.
I just like to have them all done. I mean, come on, we've got a Dodgers lineup already. I guess their game's only a half hour earlier. The Giants are super annoying too. They always really play. And theirs is always different too. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Giants. That's the other thing why they can't be a popular stack tonight. Because if they start Brazier, the Dodgers are planning to start Brazier and bring in Yarborough for long relief. And so it's like, what are the Giants going to do? Are you going to waste your lefties for the first at bat? Or are you going to play as if it's a lefty pitching? Like, it's just going to be. And if you don't know, today it won't matter after luck because there's so many times you could switch. But it is just kind of weird. Like they could. A lot of these guys might have like one or two at bats.
Yeah.
And the Giants are the team against the Dodgers that does let it all hang out more. That's also a little bit of the reason why I wouldn't love stacking the Dodgers tonight, but I just don't have that many other options.
Someone saying favorite Thunder play besides Chet and Giddey. I mean, for me, it would be Hayward, right?
I did mine. It's definitely not Hayward for me, but Hayward. Look, it's not that I don't even expect Hayward to be okay, but like, why would all the ownership flock to him instead of Aaron Wiggins? Especially when Aaron Wiggins is probably going to start and Hayward's probably not. Why not Isaiah Joe, who can also handle the guard responsibilities? I think Isaiah Joe is the one I like the most.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to try to do. Get in Isaiah Joe. Okay. Let's see. Joe. Did you get to any Paul Reed?
No.
That's a weird one that I ended up with.
With no, what's his name, right?
Oh, I mean, the no Mo, yeah. I guess that doesn't matter.
It's got to be worth something.
I'm sort of surprised that he's not like Paul Reed is interesting because when he ends up starting, obviously when Embiid's not there, he is like, wait, what am I missing here? Are we actually? Is this right? I had Embiid as questionable and likely to play only 24 minutes. Now it says 27 and a half. Wait. Why isn't Philadelphia a bigger favorite in this game either?
What do you think? 27 minutes, you mean, should be
27 minutes is a lot of the game.
What's his price, by the way?
11.
Oh, okay. They didn't make him like 7,100 or something?
No, that would have been fun. It's just they're not gonna. Yeah, Paul Reed is probably the pushing it. I just was trying to get creative and maybe overthought myself here. You know who I hate that I have some of though is Mike Conley. Why do I have him in one of my lineups? I mean, I know why I have him. I just don't know. I'm usually like the person who just I'll skip.
Yeah, I got a couple.
Yeah.
I got a couple. You like Jordan Poole?
Yeah, I do actually, but I think I went more with like a LeVert or Garland, and Giddey. Like I like those guys. It's not that I want to say I like them better. Like Poole has an opportunity to go completely nuts and probably has the highest upside of all of those guys. But there is a huge downside and definitely a way where he ends up with like 15 fantasy points.
Yes, there is.
But it's kind of a weird one.
You getting any Chetty?
Yes,
yeah.
I like Chetty. And
I guess I'm gonna scoop. I'm gonna have some dinner soon. We gotta wait for all my NBA guys to get ruled out, I guess. The usual.
Yeah.
And I guess we're good. I got hockey and basketball. We'll probably play the late slate in the baseball. Why not?
Oh, nice. You enjoy that. I've got our company meeting, so I'm going to be in that nonsense.
When is that?
7:30.
Your time? No.
7:30 Eastern.
Okay. Maybe I'll do that. I'll be eating. If I can hop in, I'll hop in.
Awesome. All right, man. Have a good night.
Wait. Okay. So just so you know, hang on. Before you even go, let me just see if he texted me back.
Oh,
yeah, the guy I was telling you about, he's going to get me back to me within the next hour or two to see what time tomorrow is good.
Okay, awesome, man.
Okay.
Great. All right.
All right. I'll see you later.
All right, bud.